We're joined by Caia Elisaldez from the Chattanooga Mocs women's basketball team. You were named a month or two ago a liaison to the NCAA Playing Rules Committee. What does that mean?
It means a lot. It means that I have the opportunity to speak on behalf of all of NCAA women's basketball players and just like be able to put the inputs that we have a say so in how things are able to be affected in our lives, how we're able to affect the game every day, and just things that we see from a player standpoint that can be adjusted on the rules side of things.
So, how did this come to be?
Um, Coach D actually said that that they sent her out something to nominate a player from the conference and that she was going to put my name in the running for it. And I actually got accepted into the student athlete engagement group first. And then from the engagement group, I got an email a few weeks after that. I was one of two players selected nationwide. Um, in Division One's basketball for being a liaison to the subcommittee.
So, let's work up to that. What do you do on the engagement committee?
On the engagement committee, it's one female women's basketball player from each uh, conference, and basically, like they're talking to us about we've talked about the tournament. We've just talked about a bunch of things that go into how things work for us, like how things play out, like what we're able to participate in, and just like other opportunities also to get us connected and to like build our connections, to build our social networks within this realm and everything. So that's like really like the main thing that goes on there. But we also will vote or like we'll talk about things that they're able to bring into like the bigger NCAA like meetings and everything.
So, what would be an example? Where do you think you guys are having the most impact there?
Um, I feel like a big impact we're having is on how like the tournament works and everything right now. Like from the player standpoint, things that we want to see more and everything, things that we wish were included, and just a lot of networking things right now. The engagement committee also has given us the opportunity, if we wanted to be able to go to the tournament and to the Final Four and everything, to be there and kind of network and talk to officials, talk to other NCAA members and stuff like that, just so we can build our brand, build our network, and expand on like who we know and everything, and open up our options for what we want in this realm.
When you say how the tournament runs, what are some of the things that you and the committee members would like to see about how the tournament runs?
There's more so just on aspect. We've talked about aspects of how like the things that the players would like get and everything, like things that we want to see. They've talked about things that the players would want to see in the Final Four, like the player lounges and stuff like that. Like just little things that would help us enjoy it and like really get the full experience from it.
And the Playing Rules Committee, what are your primary roles there?
Primary roles, kind of just implementing things that I could see. They give a pretty open discussion and they'll bring things to the table, whether it be the coaches or the other people on the committee. They're just bringing things to the table that they see that they want to talk about, that they wish that they're trying to get clarity on. So they give a pretty open discussion on like me being allowed to like if I wanted to like ask a question, if I wanted to like look into something, like stuff like that, like anything that I feel to like I would want to like bring to their attention and everything. It feels like it's a pretty open place for me to even like have a 2 cents and just like asking and being curious for it and trying to figure out like the best way to continuously help and like understand the women's basketball game.
So, what are the rules or what are the things they're talking about that kind of pique your interest that you feel like maybe a change would be a good idea?
Some of the things they're talking about that I think were like interesting and everything. Just probably little things with how like certain fouls are called and everything. I think like we talked to like a lot of the officials like coordinators and everything on like how certain things are being called, how reviews are called, challenges, stuff like that that I think really like I've seen has been helpful for our games that I wish that were adjusted a little bit more. Celebrations have been talked about, and even the things that we wear, things that are on the backboard or that are considered like a technically a technical in like other senses and stuff. I think those have been really interesting things to hear. And I didn't know that this was a lot of stuff that's talked about in these meetings, but they really go in depth into everything from how the officials are calling things, into the coordinating of each game, into even like just what we wear, what undershirts we're allowed to wear, like stuff like that. Like I didn't even know some of the rules that they were talked about. Like there was one rule talked about that you're not allowed to wear a bow in your hair. I wasn't even aware of that rule until we had talked about it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so it's really interesting to hear some of this. It's also really empowering to see like a lot of these other coaches and a lot of these other people who are in different standpoints and them like bringing their thoughts and ideas to the table and things that they've seen and just like again like on the officiating on the calls and stuff like they're really bringing like different aspects that would help things be ran more smoothly but also keeping us really safe. I think that was a really big emphasis in a lot of the games was or in a lot of the conversations was different calls and everything that could make it more safe for us but also can make it more of a fair end.
So you're the preseason player of the year, but you're also a pre-med and you're involved in this. Are you just kind of soaking in everything, or could this be something that you kind of take a turn and say, maybe I want to be more involved in this?
Yeah, I definitely do think both of these, the subcommittee and the athletes engagement group have both given me more of an insight into maybe I really could make a difference in the basketball realm of things. I think the networking and all the opportunities that they have for me to understand and to be included and to feel incorporated into this area of life is really, really cool. And it has had me thinking of what do I want to do for my future? Like, can I see? I mean, I am a junior, so um, learning all of this now and opening my eyes now to all of this has been like really, really helpful. And honestly, has left me a little confused on where I may end up going with things. But I will say, like, it's an opportunity that I'm definitely not taking for granted. Like, I will take for granted, and I will not take for granted, and that I will enjoy every second of.
So instead of there being a committee, if one day you just became the commissioner of women's basketball, what would the one or two things you like to change be?
That's a really hard question. Um, I don't know actually. I feel like I feel like there's if there was one thing I'd want to change, I feel like it'd be the exposure that women's basketball gets. I think I would want to find a way that we could get as much exposure and as much not just airtime, but just like as much of a crowd of an audience. I wish we could get the same um like emphasis on how important our games as the men's are. I feel like sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. I feel like for mid majors especially, I think it's a really big emphasis that all men's mid majors can compete with all other higher Power Five schools and everything. But I feel like for women's, it still seems like there's a gap at times. And I feel like I'd want to make an emphasis that no matter what area you're in, like you really can make a change.
Before we let you go, you went to Mater Dei High School, which is all the way across the country, but everyone kind of knows Mater Dei. And now you're at Chattanooga. What went into that decision, and what has the experience been like at UTC and in the SoCon?
Yeah, Mater Dei was a great school. The decision came from just me talking to those who I was close with, my family, my coaches. I had a great coaching staff at Mater Dei. I will forever love them and be completely inspired by the way that they helped me grow as a person. And I feel like going to whatever college I chose depended on just me feeling like I was at home. I wanted to feel a family aspect. And I feel like the coaches at Mater Dei, I definitely felt like I was cared for way beyond a player on the court. I was cared for as a person. I was cared for as a student and everything else. So it was really, really great. And I feel like going into college, I wanted that same thing. And going into Chattanooga, I was able to find that same level of comfort, same level of home type feeling. And I really was brought in not only by the coaching staff, both coaching staffs that I've had, but also by my teammates, by the community. And I really feel like it's helped me grow and understand how much community really, really means. I've always had a strong community with my family and everything and my friends, but going here and seeing the community that we have at Chattanooga and the way they really pour into us, it's really amazing.
Well, Caia, have a great end to the season. Best of luck. And if there's any pivotal call during the tournament that doesn't go against you, you should just tell the referees that, you're on the committee and you're gonna change that call.
I may need to use that one day. We'll see.
Good luck.
Thank you.